Welcome to my channel. Do you want to speak English but you feel shy when you try? Do you understand English in your mind but when you open your mouth no words come out? Do you feel nervous when someone speaks English fast and you cannot reply? Then listen carefully because in this video I will show you exactly how to practice English talking in a very simple way. Not difficult grammar, not heavy rules, just real speaking practice that you can start today. In this video, you will learn how to speak English step by step, even if you are a complete beginner. You will learn how to speak alone, how to speak with others, how to build confidence, and how to make English a part of your daily life. You do not need perfect English. You do not need big vocabulary. You only need practice. Stay with me until the end because every chapter will change the way you think about English speaking. And if you follow this method, your fear will slowly disappear and your confidence will start growing. Let us start this journey together. Chapter 1. Why speaking practice is important. My name is Ali. I am a student of English. I live in a small city. I study English every day. I read books. I watch videos. I learn new words. I understand many things. But there is one problem. I cannot speak. When I try to speak, I feel nervous. My mind stops. My words do not come out. I feel afraid. One day I go to a shop. I want to buy a bottle of water. The shopkeeper looks at me and says, "Hello, what do you want?" I understand his question. It is easy. I know the answer. I want to say, "I want water," but I stay quiet. My mouth does not open. My heart beats fast. I feel shy. After a few seconds, I just point at the bottle. He gives me the water. I pay and leave. When I walk home, I feel sad. I think I know this sentence. It is very easy. Why can I not say it? I feel angry at myself. I say in my mind, I study English every day. I read, I listen, but I cannot speak. What is the problem? That night, I sit in my room. I open my notebook. I look at all the words I learned. I know many words. I know many sentences. But I never use them in real life. I only see them. I only hear them. I never speak them. Then I understand something very important. I say to myself, I do not practice speaking. That is the problem. The next day, I go to my English class. I sit in my chair. I feel quiet. The teacher comes into the class. She smiles and says, "Good morning." We all say good morning. Then she asks, "How are you today?" Some students answer. I stay silent. I look down. I do not speak. The teacher looks at me and says, "Ali, how are you?" I feel nervous. My hands feel cold, but I try. I say slowly, "I am fine." My voice is low, but I say it. The teacher smiles and says, "Very good." This is a small moment, but for me it is big. I spoke one sentence. It is not perfect, but I said it. I feel a little happy. Then the teacher says something very important. She says many students learn English. They read books, they listen to audio, they study grammar, but they do not speak. And when they do not speak, they do not improve. She writes one sentence on the board. Speak to learn. She looks at us and says, "If you want to speak English, you must speak English. There is no other way. You cannot learn speaking only by reading. You cannot learn speaking only by listening. You must open your mouth. You must try. I listen carefully. Her words are simple, but they are strong. She continues, when you speak, you make mistakes. That is good. Mistakes help you learn. If you never speak, you never make mistakes. And if you never make mistakes, you never learn. I think about my day at the shop. I did not speak. I did not make a mistake. But I also did not learn. The teacher gives us an activity. She says, stand up, find a partner, ask one question, and answer one question. I feel nervous again, but I stand up. I go to another student. His name is Ahmed. He smiles at me. He says, hello. I say, hello. He asks me, what is your favorite food? I understand the question. I think for a second, then I say, my favorite food is rice. It is a simple sentence, but I say it. Then I ask him, what is your favorite food? He says, I like chicken. We both smile. It is a short conversation, but it feels good. After the activity, I sit down. I feel different. I feel a little more confident. I spoke 2 sentences today. Yesterday, I spoke nothing. Today, I spoke 2 sentences. This is progress. The teacher says one more thing. She says speaking is like a muscle. When you use it, it becomes strong. When you do not use it, it becomes weak. If you speak every day, your English will grow. If you stay silent, your English will stay the same. I understand now. Speaking is not something you wait for. Speaking is something you do. After class, I walk outside. I see 2 tourists. They are looking at a map. They look confused. I feel nervous, but I remember my teacher's words. Speak to learn. I walk to them and say, hello, do you need help? My voice is not perfect, but they understand me. They smile and say, yes, thank you. We speak for a short time. I give them directions. They say, thank you very much. I say, you're welcome. When I walk away, I feel very happy. This is a big moment for me. I used English in real life. I spoke. I helped someone. That evening, I sit in my room again. But this time, I feel different. I write in my notebook. Speaking is the key. If I speak, I learn. If I stay silent, I stop. Now I know the truth. Reading is good. Listening is good, but speaking is the most important. Speaking helps me use the language. Speaking helps me grow. Speaking helps me become confident. I say one more sentence to myself before I sleep. From today, I will speak every day, and this time I believe it. Chapter 2. Start speaking with simple sentences. It is the next morning. I wake up and I still think about yesterday. I spoke English for the first time in real life. It was small. It was simple, but it was real. I feel something new inside me. I feel like maybe I can learn this language. Maybe I can speak one day like other people. I go to my English class again. I sit in my chair. I open my notebook. I am a little nervous, but I am also excited. I want to speak more today. I want to try again. The teacher comes into the class. She smiles and says, "Good morning, everyone." We all reply, "Good morning." Then she looks at us and says, Today, we will learn something very important. We will learn how to start speaking English without fear. I listen carefully. I do not want to miss anything. One student raises his hand. His name is Kareem. He says, "Teacher, I understand English, but I cannot speak. I think too much. I try to make perfect sentences in my mind. Then I become nervous and I stop." The teacher nods and says, "This is a very common problem. Many students think like this. They want perfect English. But perfect English is not needed to start speaking." She walks to the board and writes one sentence. Start simple. She turns back and says, "If you want to speak English, do not think about big grammar. Do not think about difficult words. Start with simple sentences, very small sentences, very easy sentences. I feel something interesting. This sounds easy but also strange because in school, I always think I must speak correct English." The teacher continues, "You do not need long sentences. You do not need advanced vocabulary. You only need communication. If someone understands you, your English is good enough." She gives an example. She says instead of saying a long sentence like "I would like to have a cup of coffee because I am feeling tired," you can simply say "I want coffee." She smiles and says, "Both are correct, but the simple one is better for speaking practice." I write this in my notebook. Simple English is strong English. Then she asks us to stand up. She says, "Today we will speak only simple sentences. No fear, no pressure, just speak." I stand up slowly. My heart is beating a little fast. I look at my partner. Her name is Maria. She smiles at me. She asks me, "What is your name?" I say, "My name is Allie." It is a very simple sentence, but I feel something inside me. I spoke without stopping. I did not think too much. I just spoke. Then I ask her, "Where are you from?" She says, "I am from Italy." I say, "Nice to meet you." She says, "Nice to meet you too." It is a very small conversation, but it feels like a big success. The teacher walks around the class and listens to everyone. She smiles and says, very good, keep speaking, do not stop." After a few minutes, she stops the activity and says, "Now sit down." We all sit. She says, "You see, you are speaking English, not perfect English, but real English, communication English. This is the beginning. I feel proud. I spoke more today than yesterday. I used simple sentences. I did not think too much. I just spoke." Then the teacher gives us another idea. She says, "When you are alone, you must also speak. You can practice anywhere. In your room, in front of a mirror, while walking, while cooking. Just use simple sentences." She gives examples. She says, "Say things like I am tired, I am hungry, I am going to school, I like this, I don't like that, I don't like that." She smiles and says, "These sentences are small, but they are powerful. I like this idea. It feels possible. It does not feel difficult." After class, I go outside. I walk on the road. I look around me and I try something new. I start speaking in my mind. I say, "This is a road. This is a car. I am walking. The weather is nice." I do not speak loudly, but I speak in English in my head. It feels strange, but also good. Then I see a small shop. I go inside to buy a snack. The shopkeeper says, "What do you want?" I feel nervous for 1 second, but then I remember the teacher's words. Start simple. I say, "I want chips." He gives me the chips. I pay. I say, "Thank you." He says, "You are welcome." It is another small success, but for me, it is very big. I used simple English again in real life. That evening, I sit in my room and think about my day. I spoke in class. I spoke in my mind. I spoke in a shop. I open my notebook and write. Simple sentences are the beginning of speaking. I do not need perfect English. I need to start. I feel something changing inside me. I am not afraid like before. I am trying. I am speaking. Before sleeping, I say to myself, tomorrow I will speak more simple sentences. And for the first time, I feel like I can really do it. Chapter 3. Practice speaking alone. The mirror technique. It is the next morning. I wake up and I feel something different. I am still not perfect in English. I still make mistakes. But now I am not afraid like before. I remember what I learned yesterday. Start simple. These words stay in my mind. I go to my English class again. I sit in my chair. I open my notebook. I am ready to learn something new. I want to speak more. I want to feel more confident. The teacher comes into the class and smiles. She says, "Good morning, everyone." We all reply, "Good morning." Then she says, "Today I will give you a very powerful speaking method. You can do it alone. You do not need a partner. You do not need a class. You only need yourself." We all become quiet. I listen carefully. I want to know this method. One student asks, "Teacher, how can we speak alone? Who will listen to us?" The teacher smiles and says, "You will listen to yourself." She walks to the board and writes one word, mirror. She says, "Today we will learn mirror speaking. You will stand in front of a mirror. You will look at yourself and you will speak English." I feel surprised. It sounds simple, but also a little strange. The teacher continues, "When you speak in front of a mirror, you feel like you are speaking to a real person. You see your face. You see your expressions. You hear your voice. This builds confidence." She looks at us and says, "Many students are afraid to speak in front of people, but they are not afraid to speak alone. So, we start alone first." I like this idea. It feels safe. It feels possible. The teacher gives us instructions. She says, "Go home, stand in front of a mirror, say simple sentences. Do not stop. Do not think too much. Just speak." Then she gives examples. She says, "Hello, my name is Ali. I am a student. I am learning English. I am happy today. I like English. I want to speak English." She smiles and says, "Even 5 sentences are enough." After class, I go home. I feel curious. I want to try this method today. In the evening, I go to my room. I close the door. I stand in front of the mirror. I look at myself. At first, I feel shy. I do not speak. I just look. Then I remember the teacher's voice. Just start. I take a small breath and I say hello. I stop for 1 second. I feel strange hearing my own voice, but I continue. I say my name is Ali. I pause again, but I do not stop. I say, I am a student. I am learning English. Slowly, I start to feel better. I do not feel scared. I feel like I am talking to someone. I continue. I like English. I want to speak English every day. I smile a little. I look at my face in the mirror. It feels funny, but also powerful. I say more sentences. Today, I am happy. I go to school, I learn new things, I stop after 1 minute. I feel surprised. I just spoke English alone for 1 full minute without anyone helping me. I sit on my bed and think. I did it. The next day in class, the teacher asks, "Did anyone try mirror speaking?" I slowly raise my hand. I feel a little shy, but I say, "Yes, I tried." She smiles and says, "How did you feel?" I say, "At first I felt strange, but then I felt good." She nods and says, "This is normal. At the beginning, everything feels strange, but when you continue, it becomes natural." Another student says, "I tried too. I spoke for 2 minutes." The teacher claps her hands and says, "Very good. This is progress. I feel happy again. I am not alone in this journey. Others are also trying." After class, I go outside and think about mirror speaking again. I decide to try it every day. Just 5 minutes. Just simple sentences. That night, I stand in front of the mirror again. This time, I feel less shy. I say, "Hello, I am Ali. I am improving my English. I am not afraid anymore." Then I talk about my day. Today, I went to school. I spoke in class. I learned mirror speaking. I am happy. I stop and smile. I feel something growing inside me. Confidence. I realize something very important. I do not need other people to start speaking English. I can start alone. I can practice alone. I can build my confidence step by step. Before sleeping, I write in my notebook. Speaking alone is powerful. The mirror is my first speaking partner. I am not afraid anymore. I close my notebook and lie down. I feel proud again. I spoke more today. I practiced more today. And I know one thing clearly. If I keep doing this every day, my English will become stronger. Chapter 4. Speak with others without fear. It is the next morning. I wake up and I still remember yesterday. I spoke in front of the mirror. I spoke alone. I felt shy at first, but then I felt confident. I said simple sentences. I did not stop. It was a small step, but it felt like a big change in my life. Now I want to do something more. I want to speak with real people. Not only with myself, not only in the mirror. I want to try real conversations. I go to my English class again. I sit in my chair. I open my notebook. I feel a little nervous today. I do not know why, but I feel like today I will speak more with others. The teacher comes into the class. She smiles and says, "Good morning, everyone." We all reply, "Good morning." Then she looks at us and says, "Today we will do something very important. We will speak with real people. We will not only speak alone, we will speak together." I listen carefully. My heart beats a little faster. One student asks, "Teacher, what if we make mistakes when speaking with others?" The teacher smiles and says, "Good question. Mistakes are normal. You must not fear mistakes. You must use mistakes to learn." She writes on the board, "Communication is more important than perfection." She explains, "When you speak English, your goal is not perfect grammar. Your goal is understanding. If the other person understands you, you are successful." I think about this. It feels true. I remember many times when I stayed silent because I was afraid of mistakes. The teacher divides us into pairs. She says, "Now talk to your partner. Ask questions. Answer questions. Just speak." I look at my partner. His name is Daniel. He smiles at me. I smile back. We are both a little nervous. Daniel asks me, "What do you do in your free time?" I understand the question. I think for a moment, then I say, "I watch movies, I study English, I listen to music." It is not a perfect sentence, but I said it. I did not stop. I did not stay silent. Then I ask him, "What do you do in your free time?" He says, "I play football. I like games." We both smile. The conversation is simple, but it feels real. The teacher walks around the class and listens. She says, "Good, very good. Keep talking, do not stop." After a few minutes, she changes the activity. She says, "Now ask more questions. Try to keep the conversation going." I feel a little more confident now. I ask Daniel, "Do you like music?" He says, "Yes, I like rock music." I say, "I like music too." We continue talking slowly. The fear disappears. I am not thinking too much. I am just speaking. Then something interesting happens. I make a small mistake. I say a sentence in the wrong way. I stop for a second. I feel shy, but Daniel smiles and understands me. He replies correctly, and the conversation continues. I realized something important. My mistake did not stop communication. We still understood each other. The teacher claps her hands and says, "Very good, everyone. You are speaking English. You are not perfect, but you are communicating. That is the goal." I feel proud again. I spoke more today than before. I spoke with another person, not just with myself. After class, I go outside and sit on a bench. I see two foreign tourists near the road. They look confused. They are looking at a map. My heart starts beating fast again. I feel nervous. I think, should I go and speak? What if I make a mistake? But then I remember the teacher's words. Communication is more important than perfection. I slowly stand up and walk towards them. I say, "Hello, do you need help?" They look at me and smile. One of them says, "Yes, we are looking for the bus station." I understand. I know this. I say, "Go straight, then turn left. The bus station is near the market." They listen carefully. One of them says, "Thank you very much." I smile and say, "You are welcome." They walk away happily. I stand there for a moment and feel something very strong inside me. I did it. I spoke with real people. I helped them. I understood them. I walk home feeling proud. I think about everything. I spoke in class. I spoke with Daniel. I spoke with strangers, all in one day. That evening, I sit in my room and write in my notebook. Speaking with others is not scary. Mistakes are okay. Communication is the goal. I close my notebook and think, I am improving every day. Before sleeping, I say to myself, tomorrow I will speak again. I will not be afraid. Chapter 5. Daily Speaking Habits That Work. It is the next morning. I wake up and I feel something different inside me. I am still not perfect in English. I still make mistakes. But now I am not afraid of speaking. I spoke with real people yesterday. I helped tourists. I talked with my classmate. I felt nervous. But I did it. Now I want more improvement. I want to speak every day without fear. I want English to become part of my life, not just a subject in a classroom. I go to my English class again. I sit in my chair. I open my notebook. I feel calm today. I am not too nervous. I am ready to learn something new. The teacher comes into the class and smiles. She says, "Good morning, everyone." We all reply, "Good morning." Then she says, "Today we will talk about habits, daily habits, small habits that make you fluent in English." I listen carefully. The word habit sounds interesting. I want to know more. The teacher writes on the board, "Small daily practice equals big results." She turns to us and says, "If you want to speak English well, you must not study only once a week. You must not speak only in class. You must speak every day, even for 5 minutes." One student asks, "Teacher, what should we do every day?" She smiles and says, "Very good question. I will show you simple speaking habits." She writes a list on the board. First, speak to yourself. Second, describe your day. Third, ask questions in English. Fourth, think in English. She explains, "These are small things, but if you do them every day, your speaking will improve very fast." I write everything in my notebook. I feel excited. It sounds simple. I think I can do this. The teacher continues, "You do not need a partner. You do not need a class. You only need your voice." After class, I decide to try this method. I want to change my routine. I want English to become a daily habit. That afternoon, I am at home. I sit on my bed and look around my room. I start my first habit. I speak to myself. I say I am at home. I am sitting on my bed. I am learning English. At first, I feel a little strange. There's no one listening. But I continue. I say, "Today, I went to school. I learned about habits. I will practice English every day." Then I start describing my surroundings. I say, "This is my room. My room is small. My book is on the table. My phone is near me." Slowly, I feel comfortable. I am not thinking in my language. I am thinking in English. Then I move to the next habit. I start asking questions to myself. I say, "What did I do today? What will I do tomorrow?" I answer myself in English. "Today, I went to school. Tomorrow, I will go to work." It feels strange, but also powerful. I am speaking English without help. The next morning, I continue my habit. While brushing my teeth, I say in English, "I am brushing my teeth. I am getting ready for school." While walking to class, I say in my mind, the weather is nice, the sky is blue, I am walking slowly. I do not stop. I keep using English in my mind. At school, the teacher gives us another challenge. She says, today, speak for 5 minutes about your day. I feel nervous again, but I try. I stand up and say, today I woke up early. I ate breakfast. I came to school. I am learning English. I am happy. It is not perfect, but I speak for more than 5 sentences without stopping. The teacher smiles and says, very good. This is fluency, not perfect grammar, but smooth speaking. I feel proud. I am improving step by step. After class, I go to the cafe where I work. I start using English there too. I say to myself while working, now I clean the table. Now I take order. Now I give coffee. One customer says, can I have a tea, please? I reply quickly, yes, of course. I do not think too much anymore. I just speak. At night, I sit in my room again. I reflect on my day. I realized something very important. I did not study hard today. I did not read grammar books, but I still practiced English all day. I open my notebook and write. Small habits create big fluency. Speak every day, even a little. Then I think about my journey. At the beginning, I could not speak at all. Now I speak every day in small ways. I am not perfect, but I am improving. Before sleeping, I say to myself, tomorrow I will continue my habits. I will not stop. And for the first time, I understand something deep. English is not something I study. English is something I live every day. Chapter 6. From Fear to Confidence. Real Transformation. It is the next morning. I wake up and I feel something very different inside me. I am not the same person I was at the beginning of this journey. Before I was afraid to speak English. I was afraid of mistakes. I was afraid of people laughing at me. But now something has changed slowly, step by step. I sit on my bed and think about everything I've done. I spoke in class. I spoke in front of the mirror. I spoke with strangers. I created daily habits. I started thinking in English. I did not become perfect, but I became brave. I go to my English class again. I walk into the room and sit down. I feel calm. I am not shaking like before. I am not hiding my face. I am ready to speak today. The teacher comes into the class and smiles. She says, good morning, everyone. We all reply, good morning. Then she looks at us and says, today I want to see your progress. Today you will speak freely. No fear, no stopping. One student raises his hand and says, teacher, I still feel shy when I speak English. I understand, but I cannot speak fast. The teacher nods and says, that is okay. Today is not about speed. Today is about confidence. She writes on the board, confidence comes from practice. She turns to us and says, you are not born with confidence. You build it every time you speak. Even a small sentence, you become stronger. I listen carefully. I feel like she is talking directly to me. Then she gives us an activity. She says, now speak freely for 2 minutes about anything you want. My heart beats a little faster. 2 minutes sounds long, but I stand up. I take a breath. I start speaking. I say, "My name is Ali. I am learning English." At the beginning, I was afraid. I could not speak. But now I am trying every day. I speak in class. I speak at home. I speak with people. I am improving. I continue. I do not stop. I do not think too much. I just speak. I say, I work in a cafe. I talk to customers. I use simple English. I make mistakes, but I learn. I am not perfect, but I am confident. 2 minutes finish. I stop speaking. The teacher smiles and claps. She says, "Very good, Ali. This is progress. This is confidence." I feel something strong inside me. I did not think I could speak for 2 minutes without stopping, but I did it. Another student speaks then, another. Everyone is trying. The room is full of English. Not perfect English, but real English. After class, something special happens. I see a new student sitting alone. He looks nervous. He is quiet. He is looking down. I remember myself on the first day. I was like him. I walk to him and say, "Hello, my name is Ali. What is your name?" He looks up and says softly, "My name is Omar." I smile and say, "Nice to meet you, Omar. Don't worry. English becomes easy with practice." He smiles a little. I ask him simple questions. "Where are you from? Do you like English?" He answers slowly, but he is trying. In that moment, I realize something very important. I am no longer the shy student. I am helping someone else now. I am becoming confident. That evening, I go to my cafe job. A customer comes and says, "Can I get a coffee, please?" I reply without fear, "Yes, of course." One coffee coming. Another customer says, "This place is nice." I say, "Thank you. We are happy you like it." I am not thinking in my language anymore. I am thinking in English in real time. After work, I walk home slowly. I look at the sky and think about my journey. I remember the first day when I could not even say one sentence. I remember the fear. I remember the silence. Now everything is different. I am speaking. I am learning. I am improving. I sit in my room and open my notebook. I write. I am not the same person I was before. I am confident now. I speak English every day. I am not afraid anymore. I close my notebook and smile. I feel proud. Not because I am perfect, but because I tried. Because I did not give up. Before sleeping, I say to myself, "Tomorrow I will speak again. I will help others. I will keep improving." And in that moment, I understand the truth of my journey. Confidence does not come in one day. It comes step by step. It comes from speaking again and again. It comes from facing fear and not running away. Now I am not just learning English. I am living it.